Yes, so what? It's your boy, Bitz and Bobz. Good evening, people. It is International Week. So, what are we doing? We're doing more content. I'm bringing you some fire panels, special guests. And tonight we talk about Cookie Crumble FC. If you know me well, you followed me, that's what I've called Liverpool FC all season. If you're triggered by it, please stay and watch more of this content. Tonight, I am joined by five brilliant guests, okay? And first of all, we're going to go by seniority, as I've just heard. So happy belated birthday to Steve. Thank you for coming on the channel. Steve, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so Steve, I've obviously been on with you before. I know LFC Sonny really well. I've been on the show many, many times. Not long started my own sort of YouTube and streaming channel, Red Sky Pots. So please jump on and give us a shout. Just enjoy talking to like-minded people about football, mate. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. So yeah, let's get it done. Let's have a good time and a good chat.
Brilliant. And also, I've got another guy making his debut on the channel. You can call him Ryan or Rayan or Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
Ryan, okay? Yeah. I'm good, bro. Good, man. Just cheers for having me on the show, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, brilliant, man. Thank you for that. And also, one of the best young YouTubers going out right now, LFC Sonny's in the building. What we saying, little bro?
Good. Football-wise and me-wise, good.
And also my co-host, Vinchi Saint in the building. How are we doing, Vinci?
Hey, doing good, feeling good. I love the diversity here, but next time maybe we can get a female in the building. But oh well, it works.
Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit. Yeah, that looks good actually. I'll put Sonny in the middle. And then last but not least, my new friend, a very good friend, and we found out recently we don't live that far away from each other. Man like Saint, LFC in the building.
You know, if you ever get a disagreement on football, we just meet up and settle it like men, isn't it?
Yeah, trust me. Round the corner, mate. Nah, thank you.
Welcome to the channel,
I'm good,
man.
bro. No, thank you. It's just a long time overdue, and I'm very happy to be here. So thanks for having me, man.
No. Listen. Thank you very much. You're all listen. You might be the ops, but listen, I've got a lot of time for all you all. So everyone in the cut, please smash the like. Listen, got questions for the guys regarding Liverpool? Get at it. I'll make sure I read the comments. So listen, I'm just gonna start with it. Okay. Seniority wise, I'll start with Steve. In fact, you know what? I'll hit this to the panel. Actually, we'll do it like that to the group. 2015, Jurgen Klopp was hired. Okay. I don't know if any people watch European football too tough. Guys, what was the initial feeling when Klopp was hired? What were you thinking? How were you feeling? Anyone?
I thought he was the obvious choice personally. Like I was. Do you know what I mean? Shout out my boy P. He was like, "Yo, Klopp, do you know what I mean? He's the guy because he's an Arsenal fan." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. Like Klopp is the guy." And so when there was murmurings of it, I did think, to be fair, he is the one. It's a pretty obvious choice. I know there was a couple of people that wanted Ancelotti at the time.
Yeah, it's him or Ancelotti, isn't it?
Him or Ancelotti. But I was very much on the Klopp camp.
Ancelotti wouldn't suit FSG. I'm sorry, Ancelotti is not the man to come in and go with these owners.
True.
I don't think so, no.
Not with these owners. I think that's one of the main reasons Klopp got the job.
Do you think Klopp got the job because he was easier to work with? He knew Liverpool was going to be a big job, so he didn't want to be out of place verbally. Because Ancelotti comes with prestige, right? You know. He had to
but
deal
even before that, I think it's his type of play. It was new. It was working. I know, obviously, he'd had the kind of the downside with Dortmund, but that was just literally because he was getting all of his players just getting absolutely pinched off him. But generally, in terms of the type of football he was playing, that's why before owners or anything else, I just thought that's a better brand of football. Do you know what I mean? I could buy into that. Do you know what I mean? And then when he came in and then obviously started to do that whole, heavy metal football and that, it was inspiring. So, but Sonny is right.
Yeah,
I think with Klopp, I think with Klopp as well, it was the fact that he'd obviously had that job at Dortmund, which was kind of similar project to what he had to do at Liverpool in terms of, they don't have as many resources. They were kind of down in the dumps when he joined, and he needed to rebuild them and back up.
Yeah.
And he obviously won back-to-back Bundesliga's, got to a Champions League final at Dortmund, and a similar job was needed at Liverpool. And I think that's why they went for him. Whereas Ancelotti, I wanted Klopp at the time, but I would have been happy with Ancelotti as well. But I think Ancelotti, he'd been at clubs where Chelsea, where you get to a lot of resources to spend, PSG, Real Madrid, etc. And I think Klopp was definitely better suited for this particular project at Liverpool, and I think that's why they went for him. And that's why I wanted him personally ahead of Ancelotti.
To be honest, right, if you look at it from Klopp's perspective, it's not a lot of risk. Where Liverpool was at when he took over, it's like, to be honest, if you look at Liverpool, seriously, for the past, like, since I was actually born and I was actually fell in love with them, we've just been kind of enjoying good football. Like, if you bring good football, we're just like, that's great. We're aware of our prestige. We're aware of all the trophies we'd won back then. But we got to a point where it's just like, okay, we win a cup, it's nice. But like, Klopp, when I heard of Klopp, I was just like, well, we just, we had Brandon. It's all right. Like, Klopp is great because there's not much pressure. Come in, play your football. It's a chance for you to bring that Gengen press. I was like, let's see what it looks like. I was excited. I actually wanted an entire scrap of like a different style of playing because, to be honest, every coach that came in before him would bring a different style, and it was all confusing. So I was ready for it. I was used to it,
Can I jump in quickly and just say I do agree with Vinci in terms of we are like, for lack of a better term, passionate merchants. Do you know what I mean? We're a very passionate club. Do you know what I mean? That is us. However, I would disagree in the sense of the case of where you say that he wasn't under so much pressure. Yeah, he wasn't under pressure, but with the 13-14 season, I think collectively as fans, because we've come so close, we were like, do you know what I mean? We were just like, it's there. Like, again, like, he wasn't coming into at a time where we'd been like 4 years consistently 7th, we'd actually, do you know what I mean? Like, we had Suarez and then we'd lost Suarez, and then we were just like, we needed, like, again, being such a passionate club and fan base, we needed something to, so I think he was under a bit of pressure in order to really kind of rejuvenate, and I think he knew that, and that's what spurned his I'm going to turn you lot into believers chat. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But Saint, imagine if he came in and the coach before him had won something, like had won the EPL or something.
But is that not why though? Is that not why they went for him?
So can I add something on this, guys? I think
go on.
Dortmund and Liverpool, in terms of what the clubs are, they're people's clubs. They belong to the fans in essence. So there's a very large similarity between the project, the model at Dortmund, and the project and the model at Liverpool. So he was the right man because he's not just invested himself in the club; he's invested himself in the city. He's become a patron of the city in every tourist part of the world, you could say. So he was, for me, the only man for the job. I was surprised to see Ancelotti come in and take a job at Everton because Ancelotti comes with prestige and heritage. You were quite right. He's been presiding over well-oiled machines, Milan, Real Madrid. When he came to Chelsea were in great shape. He was not known for tearing up a squad and going out and rebuilding. And doing that at Everton has had its challenges. It's not always been successful. So I have it on good authority. He did meet with the owners and he wanted instantly to sign the spine of the team straight away. So a goalkeeper, a centre-back and a centre midfielder, and was told that wouldn't be possible. So sort of shied away from it a little bit. And I've got that from a reasonably decent source. But I genuinely believe, given the makeup of the man and the way he invests himself into Mainz, then Dortmund, and now Liverpool, in terms of fit for where the club needed to go, Jurgen Klopp was the only manager for the job at that point in time.
So are we all agreed on obviously the last sentence there? He was the best man for the job.
Yeah, I mean we can do that now, innit?
Yeah, and he's proved it. Cool. He's proved it as well.
Oh, we'll get to that because I've got a lot of questions. Shout out to Replays Darnell. I was really interested in Jurgen Klopp coming to Liverpool. He was the manager I wanted. Most that was available, even over Ancelotti. Plus, Klopp would have always visited the Liverpool side better. Okay, fair enough. There's a quick question up here from Vibes FC. Just very quickly, is either a yes or no on Martinelli at Arsenal? I'm trying to engage more with the guys that tune in to watch us, guys. Yes or no on Martinelli? Yes or no? Steve?
Yeah, he's a decent player.
Yeah. Everyone agreed with that?
100%. Yeah. Should get more time, to be fair. But yeah.
Okay, so his next question, sorry, that was from Football Landscape, big part. Now, Vibes FC said, do any of you have confidence in FSG spending money required in the summer? Personally, I'm not sure they will. Yes or no? Confident?
No.
Okay, we will get to that, Vibes FC, later on. Trust me, okay? Listen, guys, okay, so look, we've talked about you're excited about his appointment, you know, in the tenure, he came 8th, then 4th twice, 2 years in a row. He came 2nd, which was one of the most exciting
title races.
I lost hope in football after that season until we won the Champions League.
Yeah, because you guys were going back and forth with each other with Man City. And obviously you came so close, but you didn't win it, okay? Then you win it, okay? Now, did you think that was going to happen? And when I say do you think that was going to happen, because obviously we want our teams to win the league, right? But with the pattern of league finishes, the pattern of not winning domestic cups, okay? Now, I'm not saying the way you exit them. What I'm saying is the way you didn't win them, because we cannot look. Cup football is a tournament game, it's a one-off. Do you know what I mean? You can play different teams, weekend teams, and so on. Which I get that, right? The pattern: 8th, 4th, 2nd, 1st. I mean, did you see that coming?
Bobz, I'll tell you what it is, yeah. I'm pretty sure Klopp, he was on a roll before he came to Liverpool of a final streak where he was losing. I'm pretty sure he was. We then lost. Yeah, exactly. We then lost the Champions League final. The Premier League season, which we lost by a point, that's like losing a final. When that happened...
UEFA.
Yeah, it was the UEFA Cup final.
We lost that.
Yeah. When that happened, after we lost the league by a point going into the Champions League final, the only reason I had the slightest bit of hope was because it was Tottenham. I think if that's a different team, we could still be here today with no trophies. Because I think we could have done, because Tottenham, they're worse than us. So at that time, we looked like we could have never won a trophy under Klopp.
It's possible, but I hear where you're coming from, Sonny.
When you say it's possible, right?
No, but like but Saint, anything is possible. But let's
just gonna caveat that.
But let's look at what we were seeing on the pitch. Klopp comes in. He gets 8th the first time around, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know that he's bringing in the system and he's bringing in players as well. I think that time, I don't even know if Mane and Salah were there then. I think they're slowly trickling in. And he's getting
only Firmino at the time. I think only Firmino, and then obviously...
Yeah, and that time, you're buying Firmino and we're just like, wait, who is this kid? But like, he's bringing in these pieces from players that look like they're not big signings. They look like kind of like abandoned signings, essentially, like mediocre players. And what he's done, he's got a system and he's brought players to fit in the pieces of what he wants to happen. So when we're coming close, when we get to Europa finals and we see Sevilla, obviously I knew that we're going to lose to Sevilla, but I was seeing some, once we lost that game, I saw something. I was like, he's on to something here. And then the next seasons, he continues to develop. And the season before we get Van Dijk and Alisson, I'm like, okay, so we're this close. All he needs is the finishing pieces because we had the attackers that were banging in goals. By the way, just to refresh your memories, remember, Liverpool have always had attackers. If you're a striker and you want to bang goals, come to Liverpool because guess what? Our midfielders will serve you.
Not anymore, man. Not anymore.
I wish we had one right now, innit?
So guys,
but Sonny, we'll get there later. But like, it's still the case. The only problem is the 3 that we have up front. They're on a mad thing now. But essentially, he filled in the blanks every year. So I was expecting at some point he was gonna actually win trophies. So Sonny, when you say that he could have not won something, I think it was written in the stars.
When I say that as well, because I thought the Premier League, losing the Premier League by 1 point, I thought that might have been it. Because imagine losing the Premier League, finishing with 97 points or 96, whatever it was, and not winning it. I think that could have killed the players. Obviously,
can I respond to that, Sonny? So when Brendan Rodgers was in charge, Luis Suarez was the figurehead, and then he left, and then Sterling left. The plan for Liverpool to go and sign the likes of Markovic and players like that to play off Suarez went to pot. Everything fell apart. They had no system, no game plan, no idea, and it cost him his job. Klopp came in, sat down, developed a system that was as rigid as it comes, and it was all about player profile.
Yeah.
There's a story that he didn't even want Salah, but Salah's numbers and Salah's player profile and the stats for Salah meant that he fitted into the system 100%. So he was coerced and persuaded by his analysts to have a look at that. What he's then done is gone and built the most rigid, most effective system English football has ever seen, because Liverpool is a completely systemic club. So
debatable that one, Steve, but I'll let you away with that one.
Facts.
What's that?
No, I was saying debatable, but no, I'll agree.
Yeah, well, they are, because this season is an illustration of the fact that if you take your two centre backs out and one of those guys creates your quick transition with the long and the right ball, you take them out, and then you drop your defence back, you drop your midfield back, and your front guys don't fire. The second we turn the ball over, all our opposition right now are on top of our back four. That doesn't happen when we've got everybody available. We haven't had a system since we lost Gomez. The system's gone. We're playing off-the-cuff football. So it's frustrating to watch. What Klopp has done is systemically pulled together players, and you're quite right when you said they weren't world-class signings. I've looked at them and thought, not sure about that one. Andy Robertson being the best example of that. Yep. And they've slotted in. They've all been given specialist jobs. Gini Wijnaldum and Henderson do a very, very specialised role. And what Liverpool do is played to Klopp's tune. It's not off the cuff football. It's not creative football. It is a system. And this season, the system is absolutely broken. But over those years, when we went 8-4, 4-2, and 1, he added something every single year to that system that fine-tuned the motor, if you like, for want of a better phrase. And in adding Alisson and Van Dijk, that was the catalyst to get him over the line.
Can I say something really quickly? Really quickly going back to those signings where we're speaking about FSG not always bringing in the world-class players as much as maybe other top clubs do. The reason why that's one of my biggest critics is, do you really see that being sustainable under much other managers in the world? Because Jurgen Klopp is one of the best at developing players. We need to look at our Klopp as well.
Good question.
These owners aren't leaving at the same time as Jurgen Klopp is.
No, you're right. Yeah. Klopp's a very philosophical man. He finds the best answers to the problems that are put in front of him. And he's probably an owner's delight because he doesn't go and cause trouble and challenge people. But we lost the league by a point. You go away and you cry over that and you disappear your own backside because you can't deal with it. Or you use the adversity of losing the league by a point to say, look how close we were, guys. Give me another 5% next year and we will deliver what we're looking for. That is a sign of Klopp's man management. He could have done what Tottenham did, which was lose a Champions League final and then implode and then blame everybody else but themselves. And then the manager tell everybody he wasn't the head coach, he was a figurehead. What he did was he galvanised the club. He pulled everybody together and he used adversity to drive them on. And that is a skill, and that is a management skill that sets Klopp apart.
Steve, just on that real quick. Just on that real quick. Right? Do you think?
Vinchi, bury one more.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You're gonna come in there. Saint, you were just gonna come in.
I was just gonna say to you, right? On Steve's point, I have a point to add on it, which is very fine-tuned to FSG. Like I know your setup. Do I hold that until we get there, or do you want me to intervene now and because
do you know what? Look, let's segue. It's a conversation, okay?
All right, because Steve said, give me. He said to them, you either call up your ass or you say to them, you give me another 5%. Now, how much percent do you think they were performing at the season before when they lost the league by 1 point? I think they were performing at 96-7%. So they've gone and given you.
I know the points you got as well. So.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Up you. But we've gone beyond and above, given you the 5%, and we've gone and won the league. And then we get who? Do you know what I mean? Like, it don't make no sense. So really and truly, this is why I said, listen, I could have held this because it's segueing, but like, where we are right now, I think is pretty evident. It's exactly where we should be, because we've had a toy that we've wound up and we've pulled and we've got the most out of, and now we're at the end of when that's, do you know what I mean? Starting to, but we've got a front line. We've got a front line that have been working for 4 years. Name me another.
100%.
Name me
Steve,
another.
before you come in, just before you come in, I just want to read the comments here. Jacob OC, Coutinho and Suarez were insanely good. 13-14, forgot about Sturridge, who was world class in my opinion for a few years. Sturridge was world class. There's a thing about Sturridge. When he goes to other places, he always scores, but he never fully delivers, does he? Jurgen Klopp from Replay Darnell. Jurgen Klopp has saved FC from having to spend big on a left back, right back. What he has done to a relegated Robertson and an experienced Trent is unbelievable. Fair point. Shout out One Touch TV all the way from Lagos. Big up to you. Yep.
Niger boys.
Trust me, they're here. Yep, Klopp's been a man of excuses this season. We will get to that, okay? Vibes FC, Liverpool only signed 2 centre-backs because Matip got injured. That's madness from FC. Steve, obviously we've read the comments. Guys, please keep them coming. Get your questions to the panel. On Saint's point.
Just want to respond to Saint then, and it's a good shout that. But arguably, getting to 97 points to not winning the league was a more difficult and a more demanding season than winning the league the following year, because Manchester City were there all of the way, and it kind of allowed the two teams to spare each other on. So in terms of the intensity, we didn't learn from Manchester City last season. Manchester City had 3 seasons absolutely flat out, and then they were gassed, and they needed a season to recover and reinvent themselves and do certain bits and pieces and come back again. That is exactly what happened to Liverpool.
And use their DM as their CB, and we went, oh no, okay.
And that's correct for Fernandinho, and that's exactly what's happened to Liverpool this season. But you can't play at that level of intensity for 3-4 years. So I don't know whether we'll ever see Bobby Firmino anything like the form we've seen before. Personally, I think that guy's completely burnt out because of the intensity.
I personally don't agree. But Ryan, you had something to say.
Yeah, right. So, if we could just come back to yourself.
Oh, mate. Yeah. It's weird because what we were saying about... I agree with Sonny in the way that I do feel if we had beaten the final, do I think we would have won the league the next season? Maybe, but I wouldn't have been so much as... As soon as we won the Champions League, I knew we'd win the league the next season.
Yeah.
That trophy thing's gone, you know. They've won the trophy. They won arguably the biggest trophy, you know. Now they can go on and win the league. Now it's giving those players their winning mentality, the extra confidence. But I also think that actually, weirdly enough, 18-19 we were better in. I thought 18-19 was a better season. To get 97 points, lose 1 game in the most intense title race I've ever seen, and win the Champions League we had to the final, that was better than 19. Obviously, 19-20 we won the league, which is the trophy we all wanted more. But I actually have more nostalgia towards 18-19, to be honest. And I don't think, even though we were really good in last season,
the reason
18-19 we were better.
Is because, in my opinion, the Champions League is more prestige than the league. And people might say, no, it's not. You've got Bobby Robson used to say, it's all about the bread and butter. Domestic, when your domestic competition is your domestic league, then you can think about Europe. However, football has now changed. We want to see Liverpool v PSG. We want to see the Real Madrids against the Man City. No, I'm talking to my.
I don't know the moment.
And guys, you know what? We've got to talk about it. Okay, the inevitable happened after 30 plus years. You won the league. Okay, Now, Ryan's just said he felt more towards the Champions League than actually winning the league. What were you guys thinking or feeling?
I blame COVID.
Well, you won the league.
I blame the way in which we won it. We won it too quick. We duppied man too quick. We just duppied them so quickly that it was done by December. Like, done them. Like, done. And so, like, I couldn't believe that. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not Ryan. I'm not gonna sit and talk about age, but I'm mid-30s. Do you know what I mean? So I've been wanting this league like for time, bro.
Right.
So then,
that's the feeling I was saying, Nick.
The feeling I had. No, I hear what you're saying. I do get it because I hear what you're saying. But because come December, it was mad. We it wasn't even the way we hadn't lost the game. We were duppying everyone. Like it was like, what? We've actually done this. Like it was anticlimactic.
Say we would go 2 goals down, and I'm like, we're still gonna win this game.
We're gonna slap them. Bro. Do you know how? That's one of the things that if I sit on hindsight, I never ate enough of the games. I never sat down because I would be sitting there playing with my daughter. Like, yeah, we got this. Like, you know, them ones like on some joke thing. Like, seriously, like I never like really like it was mad, and that's what I think. That's what killed it. Whereas 90s, the season before, I'm sitting there with my daughter, like,
every game you were sweating.
Yo, the last one, I'm like, oh, mate, I'm like, what's his name? My man just tapped in a 30-yarder. Are you sick? Oh, like, it was mad. It was a whole different. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's what.
Guys, can I ask a question, guys, to you guys, just from hearing what you're saying, right? You've obviously won the Champions League. You know, you've kicked on and won the league. Did you think, okay, Liverpool cycle, it's going to happen? For example, Chelsea had their dominance, Man City had their dominance slightly, United, the Arsenals before. Did you guys think Champions League, you know, then the league, then you done those shameful pictures, taking pictures of both trophies?
Shameful. Get out. We owned them both at the same time, man.
I lied.
I'm just saying
about shameful.
But did you guys think, right, we're going to dominate football? And when I say dominate football, because the way you guys won the league, you literally said the English league is a farmers' league. That's the way I saw that season.
No, but that's not what we said. Don't try.
No.
That's what you say. That's what you say.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm not here to trigger you. I'm literally because the reason I'm saying that is because, like you said, you duppy, like you literally. It was like, you know when you play table tennis, guys, and it's like 6-0 whitewash. You were just like next. You'll be getting points, then you're like, you'll be laughing at the opponent because I'm still going to beat you. And I just felt you guys are just going to dominate this now. Did you guys have the same feeling?
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you have that feeling. You have to. But then you go and lose 4 centre halves in a month, and then suddenly what you want to do.
Before that season, you just won the league. You've just won the league.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got to think you're going to go through a period of success. Football is cyclical. We know that. Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, they've all had their moment in the sun. You genuinely believe you're going to do that, but then circumstances take that away from you. And that's what's happened this year. If we had all those players fit, we'd be up there fighting with City for the title right now. It is a set of circumstances, some that we can control and some that we can't. Some that are on Klopp's toes and some that is not on Klopp's toes. There's a lot of contributory factors as to why we are where we are today. If everybody had been fit, I genuinely believe we've been fighting City for the title.
I 100% agree with what Steve said. But in answering your question very quickly, yes, bro. In my head, I was already planning my route around my yard to do my naked run when we retained the title because I thought, yo, this is man. I'm not even gonna lie.
How can you not write City off for that, man? Never.
Like, I'm not. I never wrote them off. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying is like we're gonna get there, but because of what I thought we needed, I thought, yo, we've got them. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna have like I know they're juggernauts, yeah, but all we need is 1 or 2 little pieces and we can do this. Like we've got them. We can at least fight. You know, them ones there. Like, and then like Steve said, exactly what Steve said. Literally that. And then it just, you know what I mean? So
I think saying Bobz, like to answer your question directly. Like, oh, go ahead, Ryan.
I think with me, I think in the summer, I felt because we'd only signed the left back Tsimikas, and City was making a few signings. I thought City would bounce back from last season, and I thought, same squad. I think when you win a league, you do need to add on top of that and refresh the squad a little bit, and we didn't. And I thought, I don't think we'll win it. But then we brought Thiago within 2 days of each other, and I thought, now we could maybe go and win back to back. And it's not like we actually did make a decent start to the season. Like, we battered by Aston Villa, but start to the season wasn't
Ryan,
bad.
sorry, I never heard you. What did you just say?
Shut up.
Don't mind him.
I lie. Continue.
He's speaking.
But you guys can hear me, can't you?
Yeah, we can hear you fine and clear, bro. Loud.
I thought it was so real. Why you saying that?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
No, but then but then even after we got injuries, obviously, but Virgil gets injured, but then we're still top of Christmas. We beat Tottenham, we beat Crystal Palace 7-0, and I thought after we beat Palace 7-0, I was like, now we're going to go and win this league comfortably again. I genuinely thought that.
After
but then
that
obviously
game,
things have just got, and we had injuries at that time.
Yeah. I thought after that game,
this is our title again, and
Is he cut off? I can't hear him.
No, he's waiting for you because it's a four.
No, when you done that with the 7-0, I thought, here we go. Like, I was just thinking, no way. Like, literally no way. Like, real is he really going to do it again? And then, off the evidence of the season that you did win it, the evidence was there. You guys could have went and dominated again. Okay, injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
Should Klopp have recruited a bit better? Hindsight, I know.
Yeah, absolutely, he should have done. Absolutely,
because I'm just thinking, when Man United won leagues, Fergie always said you have to get a few players, you have to get a few more hungry players, refresh it a bit, make people hungry again. Do you guys think he should have?
Going into this season with Firmino starting in our team was the first mistake. That's what the first mistake was, of many.
I don't know. I think you're right when you say, should there have been better
Klopp's biggest mistake was playing Jota in that game.
Oh, mate, tell me about it. Yeah. This is what I'm going to... Bro.
That's his biggest mistake.
Now, listen, should there have been better recruitment? Yes. I don't know. We don't know if it's Klopp or FSG. We don't know. But yes, there should have been better recruitment because I just said in my earlier point, these men have run out 4 years of playing intense football, so of course there should have been better recruitment by all means, but we don't know where the finger points. However, I love Klopp, and I've gone out and said on my channel, Klopp's I want Klopp to adopt me. You know them ones there.
That's cute, man. That's cute.
At the end of the day, shut up. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, he is a human being. He's a man, and he's made several mistakes. And like my man, was it Ryan or whoever pointed it out? One of the biggest mistakes it was playing him, was even playing Jota and a bag of man. I swear Salah saw 90 minutes in that game.
Yeah, he played loads.
There was a whole bag of man that should have never have ever seen that pitch. And and it cost us.
They shouldn't have seen the plane.
Bro, they shouldn't.
Saints, on the Jota thing, Jota's injury was due to wear and tear on a certain part of his body. So if it doesn't go in that game, it may go in the next game. So I get what you're saying. There were players.
But that's cool. It makes sense in the other game.
That's not an impact injury brought about by playing in that game. That's a degenerated ligament or a muscle or something like that wore out over time.
Okay, but can I tell you? All right, but he played 60 minutes in that game. Yeah. And then the game directly after the Michelin game. He would have made it, even if it's then that it would make sense. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, it wasn't just him. It was Salah, Mane. There was a whole lot of people. Like we had our front three finish the game.
But they're knocking on his door. They're knocking on his door, saying, "Why are you taking me off with 5 minutes to go?"
But you're the manager. I've got a 2-year-old. That's like,
you're the manager. Tell them,
boys. I want to rewind you because you guys are making me itch my afro. Like,
that's why I'm on the body now.
Now, I'm gonna answer the previous question and this question together. Once I saw Liverpool win the Champions League, right? That's the only that Champions League was the propeller to getting them to win the Premier League. Because if they don't win the Champions League and they lose by 1 point, they're not going to have the same energy or motivation. But Klopp's told them, look, you're champions of Europe. All you need is one little bit. Smack them next season. And we did, right? Guys, if you look at the football Liverpool's playing, I'm sorry, no team had caught up to it. Just because the last seasons after COVID came, after the stoppage, we started losing a few games. Don't get it twisted. We chilled. You could tell from our body language of our players, we're just like, we've done it. So we don't have to do much. But you can't tell me that in the span of 6 to 9 months, that team that dominated till December disappears, or all of a sudden their legs start feeling heavier like cement. That's rubbish.
Or you could say cookie crumbles. You know,
go away.
How can it be rubbish? How can it be rubbish when they've been doing it for 4? Name me, Vinci. You name me a top 3 partnership, MSN. To anyone that has been going, none have been going as long as ours. And play the intensity that
this is why I'm surprised that people are surprised about this. Like it's natural.
It is natural.
No. I hear what you're saying, but you need to understand these 3 boys were doing this with ease. Look at Salah's goal. Salah has how many goals this season?
17.
How many goals did Salah and Mane share? Those boys held the golden boot together. Do you know what it is to do that?
But Vinci, do you forget last season? Yeah, last season, Mane, who I think right now has been one of the worst out of all of them, last season batted it up. Went to was it African Cup of Nations or whatever? Came back. He had a glass of water and said, "Yeah, let's go." Boom. Literally had maybe about 5 days off. These men are run out.
I hear you, but
you know what I don't understand about this team?
What?
What I don't understand about this team, right, is the problems at the moment are literally just at Anfield. Away from home, we're doing fine. Away from home, I don't think
we're doing fine.
It's literally at Anfield.
We're not quite fine.
We're doing better.
But Ryan, before we get there, I wanted to touch on Jota, right? I know you lot are talking about how Jota should have come in and removed Firmino and stuff, but you can't. When you have a squad, and this is what Man City has been able to do well, you have to be able to first, when you get a new signing, you get them in your system. And we all know that Klopp plays intensive football. So when you get a signing, Klopp takes a while. Fabinho took a while to get into the starting 11. Firmino took a while. You don't just come in and bam, bam, boom. We started Jota too quickly, in my opinion. He was not used to the pace and to the training. And don't forget that the pandemic was there. So we didn't even have a proper pre-season workout. So we come in there, we're smacking him, the guy's banging goals, and we're like, oh my God, we have a new hero. But we forget that Klopp plays intensive football. And I would rather ease him in, let him come, let him shine from the bench for a while until he gets in match shape, and then he starts.
Well, where do you stand on Firmino?
Before you answer that, okay, let me go to the comments. First Touch TV, Klopp exhausted the team. He could have rotated the squad more, but he chose not to, then paid for it. For me, Klopp takes a lot of blame for this season. Don't you agree? That before you answer, after the Firmino, that will be the next segue. Darnell says, should we sign Kabak on a permanent? Is he having a shaky start? Recently, he's showing his promise. The fact it only cost 18 to sign when you're probably 30 million is incredible. Okay. Robert Firmino is a very good playmaker. Interesting. Plus, is a very good entertaining and creative footballer. But he is at striker. He can't score.
My man does everything apart from score. I can't have that up front for Liverpool, man.
Which is not what I'm happy with. Get Haaland and Mbappe. Ooh, that's a big of a shout.
But he's done that for 3 seasons, guys. Why are we not happy with that now?
Because he's not doing it anymore.
We'll get to that, okay? Last season...
He's not doing what he used to do anymore.
And that's the problem.
Shout another comment from Darnell. So have a successful season. We needed the fans back. We need the injured players back. We need our chances to get scored, plus some more recruitment chance window. Listen, hindsight's a good thing, Darnell. Trust me. Just going for a few more comments before we go to the Bobby Firmino. Look, Liverpool guys, they just sour now. Saint was always talking about signing Mbappe and that. Saint, I think that's a little dick towards you. Darnell says, I thought.
No, go on. No. I thought let me know when you go to the Firmino. I've got a question for Vinci.
Yeah. I'm just gonna read this last comment.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Big up to you, Bocce, all the way from Australia. No. The lineup Liverpool had against teams like West Brom, Fulham, Southampton, Newcastle, Brighton, Burnley, and all good enough to get the job done. Still had 7 world-class players on, which is a very, very good point. Very good point. And this is what I say about Man United. Okay, just a quick thing on Man United, guys. We may play bad football. Well, no, we do play bad football.
Terrible football.
Matter of opinion, but yes. We have enough players, good players, to win the game. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? No,
and you're actually winning the game.
Yeah, we should win the game, but unfortunately we haven't. But Bobby Firmino, Sonny's asked the question. Ryan, I want you to go first on this. Bobby Firmino, his tenure at Liverpool. Has it been a flop or has it been okay?
I can't say it's been a flop, man. Like, the thing is, he used to be my favorite out of the front three in terms of watching him. In terms of, he's not a striker. He's a number 10, isn't he? So I've always laid off him for not scoring goals because that wasn't his job. His job is to link up the play, facilitate the wide plays, and he used to be good at that. That's why I used to lay off him because of his goals, because the other two would just score them. But we won the League and Champions League, so there wasn't much to complain about. But the problem is, I'd say since last January or February, he's not that anymore. His all-round has been absolute poor. That I'm not even concerned about his goals. It's the fact is all the stuff that he used to be good at, he's not been doing for like over a year, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. And it's annoying with him, right?
Why does he keep playing?
Because when he has a good game,
we got Origi on the bench.
Because with Jota injured, the alternatives are Origi and Shaqiri. That's why.
I have a question. So last season, how do you think Firmino did?
No, it started the season.
First half is good, second half crap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So start of the season is good, right? Okay. So when the injuries come in place and Klopp is putting midfielders as defenders, then Firmino's starts to drop.
Are you talking about the season we won the league? Are you talking the season we won the league? Or
last season, yeah.
No, but you're talking about this season.
No. This season's been bad all season.
No, this season he's been crap all the way through.
So you're talking about last season where he was good in the first half.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he was good second half.
Yeah, I would agree with Ryan. I would agree. I think he was good first half. The thing is, what I wanted to ask Vinci is, like, you say the thing with Bobby again. I agree with Ryan as well. Like, when he was never bought as a number 9. Do you understand? Like, and I get it, Sonny, bro. Yeah. Sonny, I am with you, rude boy. We are from like Man United, yeah. You lot, your holy grail is your number 7, innit? Because of your Cantona, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, our number 9, is not it's not any little man shirt. Do you understand? Like, big boys have worn that shirt. Absolute leng, man. So to see someone who's just like, bro, that's what's killing us. And I get it, Sonny, bro. I get it. And like, but he wasn't bought for that. Do you understand? And like, he was bought as a midfielder. He was bought as a playmaker. The thing is, Vinci's saying, yo, for a man to be playing 4 years and not banging now, like, don't make sense. They were doing it before. But then you'll say the intensity in which we play Jota too early. But bro, you're not making sense, because the intensity in which we play is why someone like Firmino, who is the longest standing out of all of them, his legs are done out. The amount of off the ball running that he's been doing, like the front press, our whole system, like Klopp said, started from my man. Like, and now he is finished, especially as a number 9.
Okay, Saint.
But Nick,
we need to be able to distinguish between starting a new signing too soon versus wear and tear of an entire squad over a long period of time, right? So we agree that's two different topics. But what I want you gents to understand is back in the day, before Klopp came into our club, I think even just back in the day, we used to analyze football that's like, okay, we isolate defense and then we isolate strikers. So defenders, we could say, oh, the defenders had a good day out today, but then the strikers didn't deliver because there were no goals. And we could have the same thing back then where we like strikers really did well. You know, Alan Shearer got his goals, but the defense for Newcastle is terrible. So we used to have that. But guess what? Klopp's system doesn't work that way. It's an engine. So we can't isolate and say man is not doing the same thing that you used to do when you can't take the entire picture into consideration. And let me break it down. Let me break it down, right? The moment, let me talk about this season. The moment we had Van Dijk go down, right? No, Van Dijk went down first, right?
Then Gomez.
There was nothing. There was nothing alarming, right? Gomez went down, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But still, in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Matip, we can manage. We manage with Matip, right?" He started by slotting Fabinho in the back with Matip, and we managed. When Matip went down, I was like, "Okay, this is a test for Klopp. This is where Klopp began to fail." Because once Van Dijk and Gomez got out and you took Fabinho out of the midfield, guys, don't forget that Liverpool season where it looked like Salah and them were banging goals and Firmino looked like a superstar as a 10, right, was because the Henderson was covering so much. Henderson made Trent look like a superstar because he'll go forward.
Okay,
and guess what?
What's your actual point for Firmino in this situation?
My point is that Firmino, we started to love Firmino because of the system. If Henderson goes out, then Firmino is not Firmino. But guess what?
What about last season when we had all our players there? Don't tell me he wasn't ineffective in games, man.
The whole team shut down after the second half of the season. It's not just Firmino. We can't put the blame on Firmino.
But he's asking but what he's asking on Firmino. Like Saint said, big boy, striker number. Okay, you had Torres, you've had Fowler, Ross. But Firmino, he's not asking for the team. He's asking.
I get you. But Bobz,
and I hear all of that.
We just
agree.
When
you're in front of the goal and the amount of shots, that's not system. You are already in front of the goal. You're already there.
I agree with you, but Saint, you guys just all held hands and said that when we got Firmino, we're not getting our 9. We knew that. We know that. Brazil knows that when he starts with Brazil.
However, we have had a 27-goal Firmino in all competitions. We have had that. It's not.
How many times? But how many times?
No, but I'm not saying this is the point. This is the point. This is the point. Is if you've done it, then I want to know that, like, you know, them ones there. If my daughter does something, you can't act like now that you can't do it. I know you can do it. You know them ones there. So this is what I'm saying. Like, we know you can do it, and you're not doing it now. However, I understand what you're saying, Vinci, with the system. I agree. You can't put that on Klopp. When Klopp has come out and said, I needed centre backs. If he ain't got centre backs, then he's doing what he can with what he can do in it. But Firmino is not doing. What I will blame Klopp is, why the Ross you keep playing a man that is not doing what? And again, with what Ryan said as well, I agree. Even in terms of, let's take away missed shots, let's take away not shooting, let's take away all of that nonsense. Even your link-up play starting to look a bit booty. Like, it's starting to look.
There's only so long you can play a player like him who can't finish, man.
Yeah, so bro. Answer the question.
No, but Sonny.
Answer the question.
And it's not can't finish, it's can't finish consistently. The man went and duppied up Tottenham ridiculously with some disgusting goals.
Boys, if you guys sit here and tell me that Firmino, since we bought him, you felt like Firmino is the striker that would finish chances left, right, and centre.
No. But what he was is no longer
better than what he's doing. He
was never that. He was never that. Wait, Saint, you pointed that out one season where he's had that.
I hear that.
Look,
I hear that. This is my thing. I don't blame Firmino for so much. I do blame him for sometimes. I'm like, brother, you can do better. But at the same time, I blame Klopp for playing him where he's playing him, because I'm like, bro, bring him in a number 10 position. Let him bring the onus of scoring off of his back. I blame Klopp. That is what I blame Klopp.
But he doesn't have the onus on scoring. Who told you he has the onus of scoring? That's the fans putting that on him.
That's the number he has on his back.
He has the number 6.
No, but listen. When Salah and Mane are performing and they don't perform, okay, for me as a rival fan, I'm looking at Firmino like, even if there's chances where I'm thinking, how did you miss that? There's scenario where I'm thinking, you shouldn't have passed that, you should have scored. And then you can say he wouldn't have recovered. But what we're saying is that, like, you have to judge him. I'm not judging him as a number 10 because I'm judging him as a striker, because it was okay popping that champagne stuff when you're winning the Champions League and he was scoring, and you're winning the league when you're scoring. But now he has to be put on the shelf. Sorry, not the shelf. Sorry, he has to be put.
You're bagging in goals against PSG doing one eye. You're a leg man, bro.
We won the league. We won the league without him scoring. Let's be real, right? That season, he didn't score much. Okay,
but the ball play that and the setup play he did at the beginning was ridiculous.
I agree. Now, what I'm saying is, I refuse to sit here and hear all the criticism go to the top 3. Out of the top 3 this season, for example, I think, to be honest, Firmino is the best. He's the best forward right now that we have in the top 3.
Salah. Wait, hang on.
Salah, and I don't even like Salah.
What have I just heard?
Thank you, Salah.
Vinci, say that again.
Salah is not the best. Salah is part of the problem. He scored a lot of goals, yes. But how many has he missed?
Oh, no, don't do what Ryan's here, man.
Bobz. Salah gets away with so much because he scores a lot of goals. And guess what? He gets 30 chances and he scores 10 goals.
But look, I ain't gonna lie. If he's scoring those goals, even if he has 30 chances, he scores 10. That's cool with me.
Brother, tell me about Sonny. Like, you know what I won't do is have things that are so important be just dripped off like they're so
I agree with you.
Like, you know, like, oh no, but he scores goals. But are you crazy? Do you know what Bitz and Bobz would do for Martial to score a fraction of those goals? Don't talk to me, brother. Them goals. Them stats, don't talk to me. And I hear what you're saying. I'm not a Salah fanboy. But the stats, he's on Ronaldo stats. Put some fucking respect on my man's name, brother, please.
I test. It's not just about stats.
No, when you look at stats and his stats are that good, the eye
test is horrible on the eye test.
Bro,
eye test.
It goes in a way, man.
This guy with the best player.
Salah is horrible on the eye test.
Let me
spare me one moment. Steve, we've heard from Saint, we've heard from Ryan, we've heard from LFC Sonny, we've heard from Vinci, right? Regarding the Bobby Firmino. We've now heard that Salah is part of the problem. The same Salah that won the Golden Boot and stuff.
The same top scorer right now. Yeah. But no.
We listen on the show. We respect people's opinions, okay, and we'll debate it out 100%. And I love it. I love the passion.
I love Vinci. Come on. It's all love.
I'll explain myself, boys. But let's hear Steve.
Steve, where do you sit on this topic?
So we're talking Salah or Firmino now, sorry.
Well, do you know, we'll go from Firmino.
Go Firmino.
I'm ready for this Salah talk.
Okay, let me be more broad. The situation with the front three, and I'll break it down a little bit how I see it. So when we lose the centre-backs and we start playing centre midfielders and centre-backs, the dynamic of what we do in the opponent's half has gone completely. It isn't there anymore, okay? It's not happening. So it's a knock-on effect. It's like dominoes. If you take Liverpool players in isolation and you try and sell them to the top clubs in the world, they don't take them because on their own, they're good players. They're not great players. In the part of the system, it is a great system that wins you trophies. When you break the fundamental part of that system and you start sticking square pegs in round holes, the whole thing falls over. So
Big
I've heard tonight Mane get some criticism for his performances. Ronaldo is sitting right in front of the back four because he's terrified of his centre backs. When Seamus Coleman gets a free header against Liverpool for Everton, Andy Robbo shits himself and he sits at home and he doesn't get forward. Everton sit in with a low block. Mane gets the ball. He turns around to face Everton and he's got 3 players in front of him. He cannot beat 3 players, but he's trying to. So he looks like he's not playing very well. Reinstall all of the broken parts of the system. Put your 2 centre-backs back in. Put your midfield together in whatever format you want. Your front 3 start functioning again. And within that front 3 start functioning again, you get a different performance from Roberto Firmino.
I don't know
So
about that.
I agree.
I don't know, but I don't know. I kind of.
I agree.
I don't think so, man.
So what's happening at the moment is Liverpool are playing on the stretch, and they can't play on the stretch. They can't play on the stretch with Thiago sitting in the middle of your midfield. That's not what Thiago's been brought to do. We have 2 world-class ball recyclers that sit in front of our fullbacks. And they allow the fullbacks to get on, and they allow the fullbacks to do what I'm always speaking about, which is give the ball to people at the right time, in the right place, so they can hurt the opposition. We have not seen that at all this season, because fundamentally, Klopp's system is broken beyond repair because of the personnel that are missing. So I don't think you can sit in judgment of most of these players, because the reality is, they're not doing what they've been trained to do. They're not doing what they sit with Klopp and work on. It is all gone out the window, everything.
Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for that, Steve. Okay, we're going to move on to Salah. And obviously, I know I love the fact that we have an imbalance on that. But I want to hear why. And respectfully, guys, personally, I saw a tweet about him that sat from, I think it was Elmeni, I call him Elmo from Sesame Street at Arsenal. He said that Salah's the greatest African player. Now, being Nigerian, guys, I was like, that is ridiculous. I was just like,
Niger.
He's not even the best African Liverpool player.
Oh.
So look, let's get into it, okay? Football capital Bocce, yeah, dead on the eye test. One of my mates is Egyptian and a Liverpool supporter. Sorry, I've just lost the comment now. Liverpool supporter, and he says Salah's part of the problem. Even believes Liverpool wouldn't have beaten Barcelona if he played. So, guys, look, Salah, and people in the comments, Mohamed Salah, okay? We know the song. We know what he's done for Liverpool, okay? Vinci says he's part of the problem, okay? Steve, I know, right, Ryan, I want you to come out and say this because I think the guys should hear your thoughts on Ryan. Sorry, I think the guys need to hear your thoughts. And I want to go from there because I want to see.
Here we go.
I want to see the reply from you guys. Go ahead, Ryan.
Floor's yours.
I actually wanted to say something about Firmino first. I was going to say something about Firmino first because I didn't get to say it earlier on. What annoys me about Firmino is that when he plays well, we play well as a team. I know we're going to win when he plays well. Look at some of our best performances this season. You know, Palace away, Leicester at home, Tottenham away, West Ham away. Firmino's been so good in those games and done so comfortably. So it's annoying that, you know, he plays well once every 10 games. So that's the annoying thing about him. Now getting on to Salah. Obviously, I get a lot of stick for this from pretty much everyone in it. I've been...
Man, put in full speed.
No pressure.
You are active, Bitz. Hey, come on. Go on, brother.
Oh, Bobz, man. I've been Salah out for over a year. No, I've been Salah out for over a year. I think he's one of the most overrated footballers in the Premier League. Honestly, I want him gone so bad.
Whoa.
I think he's so overrated.
You know what? I'm happy you have an overrated player.
I'm not numb. I knew it. I test.
Who doesn't agree with him?
But me.
Who doesn't agree with him? Everyone, hopefully.
Everyone that don't agree with him.
Okay.
Even I admit everyone doesn't.
I agree with him.
I know you agree with him, Vinci.
Vinci and Rain are saying the same thing. Salah is the most underrated. Did you say underrated, Rain? Sorry?
Overrated.
Overrated.
That is ridiculous.
Is overrated, right?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Steve,
yeah.
What's your reply to that then?
Okay, there's only one thing that I agree with, yeah? Hear what I'm saying, innit? I'm not even, and this is why I'm saying, like, and I think maybe I don't know, maybe I might be wrong, but I'm getting the vibes that Sonny is on the vibes. Like, I'm not a big Salah like fanboy. I'm not. Like,
don't back down now.
I test, back down. Hear what I'm saying? Yeah, never. I test. You're kind of right. He does look like, and shout out Ransom Bants, who I think I first heard him say this. So I don't want to cat a man's thing, but he looks like he's chasing his first touch often. I get all of that, but the thing is, and looking at him, he hasn't got like the quick feet of say like a Marcus Rashford. Like he's not attractive. Look like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes he does look a bit awkward. I get all of that. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the most techie player. Like that's not that. But Salah's quite quick-minded. Do you know what I mean? So the awkwardness in his, what I often say, the catchphrase I use with Salah is he's not quick-footed, but he's not got good feet, but he's quick-footed. Like he ain't got good feet, but like he's kind of moved the ball there. By the time he's gone for it, he has moved it and he's off, and it all looks a bit awkward. But he does it so often that it ain't a fluke. That is Salah's. That's his technique, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay,
brother. In terms of overrated, it is one thing that cannot be used on Salah. It can't. It is an oxymoron. It doesn't work. The two don't work because his numbers are a fucking, and I'm sorry if I'm swearing, but they're a madness, brother.
Children are asleep. Children are asleep.
Hear what I'm saying, yeah? I don't care. I say it with my fucking chest, bro. You can get Mbappe. You can get, bro. There is no guarantee that them man are drawing up his numbers, bro. Don't ever sit there and just try and be like,
Mbappe's a guarantee.
But no, it's not a guarantee. No, it is not a guarantee, bro.
It is. Mbappe is, man. Mbappe.
So wait.
You're so quick to be like, oh, you know what?
Let him land. Let's see.
No, I just want to ask him. Would you rather have Salah or Mbappe?
Let him land first before he answers that. Say your point first before you answer that.
All I want to say is, yes, the amount of Salah is not clinical. That may be one of the things that people get really pissed off at. He ain't clinical. Do you understand? Like, I get that. He misses a bag of chances. But bro, the chances that he gets in are not to be squandered. Don't sit there and turn your nose up like that. Bro, he's doing madnesses against many a man doing some elite angle, right-footed things in Champions League and scoring wonders against Chelsea. Bro, don't sit there and think like Salah is a madness, innit? Like his numbers speak for themselves. In terms of would I rather Mbappe, I want Mbappe in our front line, and Salah wouldn't be the person I would.
Thank you.
No, answer the question.
Thank you.
I saw what you done there, bro. I saw what you done there. Salah
wouldn't be the one to go for me. but
sorry.
I let next man go whilst I ponder that. Because at the end of the day, Mbappe is 21 years old. Like, do you know what I mean?
Not what we're asking you, Saint. That's not what we're asking.
That's not what I'm asking. No, let him think about it. Let him dream about it.
I'm being honest. Come on.
Yeah, no. I respect that. I love you for that. I respect that. Sonny, Mbappe, Salah. Before you go into the Mbappe part, I want your response to Vinci, Ryan, and Saint.
Talk to them, Sonny, man. Talk to them, Sonny.
I'm looking at stats right now, yeah. Premier League, Salah's our top scorer. He has more goals combined than our second and third top scorers.
And he's not even having a good season.
What I don't think you lot are realising is the eye test doesn't matter. Like, if he's scoring goals, why does it matter? He's been our top scorer in the Premier League almost every single season he's played for our club.
Bro, talk to them, bro.
This guy can have a bad game and still score. He gets the goal, and the goal matters. His
Sonny, can I ask
performance
a
doesn't
question?
matter. I'm not trying to look at his soccer score rating.
Sonny, do you want me to tell you why the eye test matters? Do you want me to tell you why the eye test matters?
It matters to soccer score.
Okay, let me tell you why the eye test matters.
Vinci, 2 seconds. Saint, answer your question before Vinci goes in.
Can I just say, is Salah by anyone's standard having a good season? Really?
Yes or no?
Wait, what's the question?
He's not having a bad one.
Yeah.
He's not having a bad one, but he's not having a great one, is he? He's not. No one here saying that Salah's having a good season.
No, he's not having a great season.
17.
Yeah. Penalties don't count, guys.
Penalties don't.
Thank you.
Hernandez lover.
There's a few penalties there. There's a few.
We're gonna go to
penalties,
Vinci.
man.
Vinci, obviously you heard what Sonny said. Obviously what Saint said and Ryan said. What's your response to that? Especially to what Sonny gave you stats.
So if Salah's got the same number of goals as he had last season, I won't have a problem. But the the difference between the two seasons is the eye test. Salah is playing better, linking up better with his other strikers in last season, better than this season. He's selfish this season. He's worse than he was last season. And that's killing the team.
Why is he worse than he was last season?
I just told you, he's selfish. We should have more goals.
Selfish, Messi's selfish. You'll never ever see someone criticize them for that. Why are we criticizing Salah?
Sonny, don't ever compare Salah and Messi, by the way.
They're both football players.
It's like night and day, first of all. But my point is this. Salah is more concerned about bagging the golden boot this season, especially.
No, he's not.
Let's be real. If you're watching the Liverpool games, Mane is frustrated with him because he's got times where he could lay the ball off and it's a simple goal and he wants to shoot it at the keeper.
Do you know what concerns me? Do you know what concerns me? You were backing Firmino earlier. I would love it if Firmino was selfish. Maybe he would actually get a goal then. Firmino's not selfish. He's useless.
We're talking about Salah and Mane.
About Salah.
I'm saying we're talking about Salah mainly. Now, what I'm saying is there's been 3 or 4. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. Where Salah's coming down. Yeah, it's 2v1, and he wants to slot it in near post. And
let me ask you this then, because stats matters more than the eye test. Let me ask you this. If Salah was not so selfish and he was playing these passes to a different player and he got less goals, do you think we'd make these goals up and get more than we have?
First of all, who's feeding Salah the goals? Do you realize that he's being fed? That's my point. He's
not already fed by any of the attackers next to him. It's the whole team.
He's been fed by Firmino. We saw the last one that Firmino did with the back heel. Did you not see it? Or do you just not watch Firmino's assist? We saw that one.
What a compilation from last year, because Firmino is not good this season. This is what we need to realize. Firmino. Okay,
so I think you don't like Firmino personally. It looks like you don't like Firmino because
I like Liverpool. That's why I don't like Firmino.
no. For me, I watch, and because I love Liverpool so much and I want us to succeed as a team, we've always been a team. Yes, I told you, remember the point I made before? I said, Liverpool's a team. If you're a striker, you won't get goals.
Vinci, you're acting like this guy comes off the pitch and starts saying, oh, you know what? These teammates, I really dislike them. Well, as soon as this season ends, I'm off to Real Madrid. He's not saying any of this stuff. This is all on a football pitch, the way he plays football. And if he's scoring goals, why does it matter?
But what I'm saying is, obviously,
if he's scoring goals, why does it matter? Answer that.
I'm saying because you got to win as a team. If he's got this 25 goals he's got.
There's only so much he can win with Firmino next to you.
Vinci, can I come in?
He's had. You could go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thing is with Salah, right? Is he's so bad and frustrating during most. I like players who, if they're not scoring, their overall play during the game is good and effective for the team. Bro, this guy struggles to control a ball at times, isn't it? Just loses possession so many times.
He might not be that good, but he's scoring.
Exactly that, bro. I don't like. Mane,
yeah, but I feel like if we were to replace.
Go on.
I feel like if we were to replace him with someone who maybe doesn't score as many goals, but someone who gets links up better with the players around him and doesn't lose it as often will be able to sustain more attacks.
Firmino,
be on the
Mane's
front
finishing
foot more, not lose the ball needlessly.
But this is what I'm saying,
Yeah, but the whole
guys,
team
guys,
output will
guys,
create more
guys,
chances,
guys,
and the
one
whole
voice.
team
Let
output will
Ryan land.
increase.
Let Ryan land. Go on, Ryan. Land very quickly for me, please.
Yeah, I feel like if that was to happen, we were to buy a player like that, team output would increase as a whole, and the goals would be shared around, and we create more chances and win more games. Salah, I think he's detrimental to our build-up play most of the time.
Yes.
Like, he's so frustrating during the game. I've had him out for over a year.
Right, I've heard you, and I've heard everyone else. Steve, I've seen you patiently waiting. Conclude this Salah debate for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I love it. I really do. And do you know what? Like I said to you off stage, I love when you see a debate, but it's both parties are coming with points, and it's brilliant, literally brilliant. I applaud you both. In fact, I applaud you all. Steve, can you conclude the Salah debate here, please?
So for me, I can see all parts of the arguments. I can see both sides of the points that are being made here. What I would say is if we stop the season right now, he'd have 3 golden boots in 4 years. You can't overlook that. Okay, that's a massive contribution. If you look at the Liverpool Football Club at the end of the season, and we had a pod on the greatest forwards in the Premier League, he's in the conversation because I agree with Saint. His numbers are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He's capable of the sublime, the goals against Chelsea and things like that. And he's also capable of the ridiculous, where he's clean through against Newcastle and doesn't even hit the target. And he doesn't pick out his teammates. What I will say to close this matter is, you look at some of the greatest goal scorers in history. Alan Shearer was probably the most selfish centre forward you've ever seen in the world. He took every chance, didn't pass the ball, took all of the chances, hence the reason he's got 260 Premier League goals. Successful forwards are selfish footballers. It's in their DNA to be that way. I won't disagree with Vinchi when he says that there's times when he could look up and play Mane in, but you can level that criticism. Your own team against Liverpool, Rashford took a chance to try and score a goal when he could have played Cavani in, and the world went mad, and the world went crazy, except for his manager, because you want your centre forwards to be selfish,
especially when they're good enough to be that. And Salah is.
If he has 10 shots in a game against Manchester United, 9 go in the crowd, 1 goes in the top corner, he's a hero.
Okay.
But the thing is, he's a hero because we win 1-0.
Can I make a couple of points?
But it didn't happen.
His contribution this season, last season, his first season, whenever, his numbers are insane. Saint's absolutely right. His numbers are ridiculous.
Guys, so, I want on that, Steve. I want to conclude that. Guys, we can have it off backstage. I'm very, very, very what's the word? I'm trying to acknowledge the time here. Yeah, I'm trying to acknowledge the time. We've been going for an hour and 12 minutes, guys. My next question would be about Klopp, but do you know what, guys? We can talk about that another time. I just want to thank you all for coming on. Literally, I've actually enjoyed hearing about Liverpool. To be honest, I think it's nice to hear about another rival club have problems where you think it's your own club having problems. I want to thank everyone in the comments that's obviously be listening and ask your questions. Thank you so much for watching us. I hope we can all do this again, guys, whether it be here or on your own channels respectively.
You know guys, what? I don't know about doing this again. I ain't trying to. I shouldn't need to stick up for Salah.
Mama, Sonny, tell them, bro.
Guys, Sonny, it's all one family. We all love the same club. But listen, we can have this real debate. It's okay.
Listen, Darnell, thank you so much, man. I hope you've liked the stream as well. Guys, listen, look, thank you again. Thanks for coming on the Bitz and Bobz channel. Before we go, please tell the guys where they can find you. Sonny, we're just going to start with you. Let the guys know where they can find you and where they can subscribe to you.
LFC Sonny, Twitter, Instagram, and the Liverpool Addiction on YouTube.
Amazing. And Vinchi, yourself?
Well, exclusively on the wrap-up every Monday.
Big up on this channel. Well, nice one. Man like Saint, thank you so much for coming on again. Please, let
Bro, it's an absolute pleasure, man.
Oh no, it was fire, man. And I seriously, I mean it all, guys. I know I work with you all. I work with Sonny respectively. I hope we can do this all again. Saint, if you just let the people know where they can find you, where they can subscribe to you.
Yeah, man. Saint LFC TV. Come and catch me down there on YouTube and on Instagram. Follow me. All good.
Big up. Rayon.
Yeah, you can find me on Sarkson City. I do a few shows. No, you can find Sarkson City. I do a few shows on there a week, and you can find me on Twitter at Ryan_K1. But if you don't like hearing criticism about Salah and quite a few other players, then I suggest you don't follow me either. So.
Jeez! Smoke! I came for the smoke.
Our bandmate's got some attitude, eh?
Steve, finally yourself, my man.
Yeah, mostly get me at Red Sky Pods. As I said before, it's a new Twitter, YouTube channel, practically a month old. Could do with some support, guys. So please drop in there, have a look, see if you like it. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Been a pleasure to speak to you guys today. It's been very entertaining. So thanks for having me on.
Listen, shout out to all of you guys. Literally, please go out and subscribe to their channels, guys. I've enjoyed it. Like I said to you, I'm going to try and bring you the great panel, great content, debates, entertainment.
Smash a like. Wow.
Thank you.
Come on.
Actual content, guys, where you can actually listen to both sides of a debate, have conversations. At the end of the day, we all respect each other on this panel. We might not agree
even
with each
when
other.
some things shouldn't be debated, but yeah.
Good night. Peace to you all. God bless.